What's up guys, it's Anders. In this FL Studio tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can get that very fast, rapid changing hi-hat sound often heard in trap tracks. And then when you've got those beats finished and ready to roll, today's sponsor will be able to help you out with that.
And a big thanks to the channel sponsor, Distrokid. Distrokid is a music distribution service and the best way to get your music out to all of the modern streaming services fast, efficiently, and within an independent artist's budget. Check out the description below for a discount today.
So this technique in FL Studio is actually really simple to do, and you can do it with any hat sound really, and even other types of sounds. The technique, you can apply it and get really creative with it, use it on things like kick drums and snares as well. I'm going to show you today with a stock FL Studio sound, just so you can get rolling with any sound you've got and then apply the technique to other things that you want to do and get creative with it. So let's jump into FL Studio and get on with it.
Alright, so here we are in FL, and as usual, we've got the stock sounds loaded up. And what we're going to do, we are going to go and find ourselves a hat that suits us a little bit better for what we want to do and get that kind of feel going. Just over on the packs on here on the left hand side, just going to the mode audio, and let's grab any old hi-hat. That first one's pretty much perfect. If we right click on it, we can do something called open in new channel. That's going to drop it in a new channel, and you can see it over here on our little channel selector as well. Now what we want to do to get this rolling like we want it, just make sure that the playback and everything are fine. Sounds alright when we just click on the audio. Happy days. We're going to switch on the ADSR. So up here we've got this little like triangle icon, and we've got an envelope in here. Now when we put this on, if we now trigger it, oh, we almost don't get anything. So we need to bring our attack right down nice and early. That's a little bit better. And we're just going to bring our hold to almost 0. It's making it very, very quick. We're going to give it a little bit more on decay and very, very quick on the release. So we've got pretty much the same thing, but it's now controlled by an envelope. We're just going to select our pattern. We'll just use pattern 2 here. Can just drop that up on the playlist, but we're going to make sure that we're in pattern mode. So up here we want this to be selected for the time being, where it says pat. We can either click on them just here or press L and that'll switch them for us. Going to open up the piano roll, so this one just here in the top menu bar, or F2 shortcut key. So we want to make sure it's going to the right sound, so attack hat 01 here. If it's not the right sound, we'll just click it and select the correct one. Now we need to just find our root note, and for here it's going to be A4 just because of the way we've got the keyboard set. You might find that it comes to say C4 or C3 depending how you've got FL set up. Now what we want to do is make sure we've got snap on the grid up on here, and we just want to put it on something like a 1/4 step initially, and we're just going to tap B to get brush mode up, and we're just going to drag these along, and as you can see it's just going to put them on steps like that for us. But first one's ever so slightly off. We just want to snap them back like that. So now we're going to have super easy, right? Now hover over one, and if we hold option, scroll up and down, adjust our velocity, or we can just go down the bottom and we can just change up some of the velocities here. So we've got something a little bit different. Okay. So we've got that little run first, but we want to do suddenly a faster run. So we could paint it in here and make the note smaller and then paint them in again. Really, really easy. And then we're going to mess with the velocities a little bit as well, so they kind of move up and down a bit, and we get, and there we go, they've got that really simple roll. Now it all seems a bit rigid because we've got the snap grid on. Now if we turn it off, just turn it to none, so by going snap, going over to none, and we're going to zoom in using the scroll wheel here. If we just move things about just like tiny little amounts, we can just get them to swing a little bit more, and they just sound a little bit more interesting. And we can do that across the whole of our little rhythm here. You just get a much cooler feel with it. So we're just going to play around using that snap. So if I put them on 1/4 again, and we'll put a longer note in, like so. You see, it snaps straight to 1/4 for us. And we're just going to make a much smaller note in the middle here. We can do something like that, something like that. Now another way we can get these notes to move around and change velocity instead of doing it manually the whole time. If we just hold Command here and select the whole lot, little drop down arrow just at the top here on the left, we are going to scroll down to Tools and we are going to use Quantize. Now as you can see at the minute, it's changed our rhythm massively. It's because we're on nice eighths. So let's drop this down. Let's do like 16 backing or something like that. Again, it's going to give us a much shorter rhythm, so we can listen to it, the changes that have been made. If we change the start times, so it's a little less stringent, we'll get our rolls back in there. Okay, and we can just move them about a little bit. Now we've got the velocity control just here below it, and we can make the velocity adhere to it as well. If we use the drop down menu as well, we can change how the velocity and the snap's affected. If we just go back to our main playlist, just press L, it's going to start playing back in the playlist. Let's just drop ourselves in some kicks and snares in there. And we can super easily get a feel for how that's going to go.
And that, guys, is really how easy it is to do those snare rolls in FL Studio. And like I say, you can apply that technique to just about any sound that you want. One really cool thing you can do is then pitch it up and do those quick snare rises and snare rhythms, as well as like a riser for your kick and things like that. Technique simple, you be creative with it. I'll see you guys on the next one.